Welcome back, everyone. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE here at the New York Stock Exchange CUBE Studios on the East Coast. This is our access point, our metro point of presence for the entrepreneurship going on here. Of course, we have the CUBE Studios in Palo Alto, California, connecting Silicon Valley and Wall Street. This is part of our NYSE Wired CUBE programming and community, and we're featuring the AI Factories, the Future of the Data Center series, an ongoing series featuring the leaders making it happen, building out next generation large-scale infrastructure is going to power in the next generation. Got a great guest here, entrepreneur Roman Chernin, co-founder and CBO of Nebius. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. We love large-scale systems. We've been saying this for 4 years now. The world now has got there.
Even before it became luxury.
It was big before. We knew it was going to be big before it was big. I mean, you could still see the writing on the wall. We've been covering cloud. Cloud CapEx has just been thundering away past 4 years, past 2 years in particular. Everyone on Wall Street, everyone's paying attention. The numbers are significant. They're not where they were. But it speaks to the trend, which is the world is moving to large-scale systems, global systems, sovereign systems that will enable in what we see coming as the big wave, AI native, agentic, all the new applications are going to need all that power. So, and horsepower and power. Talk about what you guys are doing right now, because you have momentum. You got a big deal with Microsoft. You just closed up to $20 billion. I mean, we're talking about large capacity build-outs. Give a quick intro to the business model and what you guys do.
Sure. Happy to. We think that we have actually two parts of the business. We think about it as two parts of the business. The core business we built is actually the cloud. We build a multi-tenant cloud with a very sophisticated software platform with a lot of managed services, and we build it to serve all the variety of the customers, all the way from small startups to the large enterprises. And we can speak about it separately, like how we observe the evolution of the use cases, how we observe the evolution of the customers, and who is driving the consumption now, and so on. And then the second line of the business, you can call it the deals like Microsoft, like the large deployments, mostly bare metal, when we enable the largest labs and hyperscalers to move on with their like AI development. So we look at the Microsoft deal as this type of the operations, and it's a big milestone for the company, obviously, for many reasons. One, because this is like justification of our maturity. You can imagine that Microsofts of the world don't sign the deals with someone whom they didn't trust.
Yeah, that was spent a lot of dough, but
yeah,
they have needs.
Yeah, they have needs. And they have choice whom to work with, obviously. So this is justification. Then the second, this is actually tremendous scale to work with. I think when we will deploy the full-scale project with Microsoft, it will be one of the largest in-one-place deployments of the GB300s for the moment. So it's a challenge, very interesting engineering challenge, right, to provide it on scale. And the thought, which may be even the most important for us, that gives us the scale and the fuel to actually feed back to our core business. We look at this as you can think about it as a weird way to fundraise even. So to build the cloud business, when you don't finance the large deployments against the deals, but you deploy in advance, you need a significant balance sheet. And the deals like one we did with Microsoft actually gives you A, more tools to raise, B, and you maybe mentioned that the Microsoft deal was followed by the fundraise. Yeah. And B, this deal itself actually generates significant cash flow that we can reinvest to build the core product.
Yeah, and you get the capacity. So I think this is, again, you have two businesses. Build data center, large-scale computing data centers, and serve AI workloads.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I like about what you guys are doing is that you're not like anti-cloud. Cloud computing is a large scale on-premise, if you think about it. I mean, it's a data center. And so distributed computing paradigm is such where, okay, I'm an enterprise. I will want to have my horsepower, my machine, large scale supercomputer, which is a cluster of clustered systems, near my data. I'll still talk to the cloud, where the cloud can, so they're going to see, I see it blurring. I mean, I guess my question to you is, what's your reaction to that? Because cloud is evolving, because now the distributed computing paradigm's changing. That's a fundamental system change. What's your reaction to that?
I see, like, we look at this very simple, to be honest. I think that people really need the mix of two things. They need experience that they get used to living in the cloud, all the flexibility, all the tooling, all the ability to provision as much resources as you need. Like, the experience that people get used to have in the cloud. And supercomputing, meaning large-scale distributed workloads to be run efficiently in this. What we actually try to build in our core business is we say it, the baby of supercomputer in the cloud. So if you think what we built, this is the mix of these two things. Experience of the cloud, developer experience as a cloud, and we very much thinking about like what we built as a developer experience. And supercomputer efficiency, we don't want to lose any flops of performance. And we actually do a lot to benchmark and justify that when you come to the cloud experience with us, you don't lose efficiency. Because this is very expensive. This is like a very significant investment for any of our customers.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that they extract any dollar out of any part of ROI out of their investments. And reality, it comes from both components. How much your developers spend time to make thing work, worth a lot, and all the performance worth a lot.
You know, Roman, this is a great conversation because you just basically boiled down all the Twitter wars and X wars down to a simple thing: choice. At the end of the day, money's being spent to run stuff at the highest speed possible. There's no dogma to that. I mean, like, so take me through some of the hybrid. You basically said if you marry supercomputing with cloud, you're the baby. Okay, so what is the choice? Why are they choosing you guys? What's the specifics? What's the secret sauce or unique differentiation? Yep. Is it the fact that you can get that developer experience at the price performance levels? Is it workload specific? Like I want to run an AI lab on something, or I have a specific thing. What's the reason why that works?
Yeah, I think there are like fundamental reasons, and there are like different use cases that require some additional components to make them successful. The fundamental reasons are actually the specialization. At the end of the day, I think that what gives us life is the fact that we are very much specialized. So we don't try to build any universal cloud. We go only after AI-centric workloads, meaning large distributed training, inference on scale, and we do everything, and we build the platform from the ground up to actually address these use cases in the best performance. And then the approach that we took, that it's not just managed infrastructure, but this is the cloud, actually addresses a lot of developer pain points. So you can think about what is the time to value. Like you come to provider as a company, as a startup, or enterprise. How long time will it take from signing the contract or asking the quota to running the production workload? Will it be hours? Will it be days? Will it be weeks? Or will it be months because you actually wait when it will be deployed on a physical level?
Yeah.
So we try to squeeze this time as possible, and we see a lot of kind of positive feedback there. And then like all you do in the process, like all the tools that you introduce, all the managed services you introduce, how you make sure that the performance is there. Yeah. So all that comes to the experience. And if you think about it like economically, that's all the components of TCO, like the ROI.
You guys are nerds. You guys are large scale techies. You have the capabilities. You've been playing with this, building stuff. How many years? Go back? What's
the question when you start counting. So the core team, our core engineering team that the company was built around came from Yandex. That was a Russian large, you can call hyperscaler. And they actually had 20 years of experience of building the infrastructure of the scale of the global companies. So for example, people ask how the small company like you deal with a large contract like Microsoft, and we say, you know what?
We know our shit. That's
why. We saw the scale.
Okay, so we've been following you guys for a while, so we know a little bit about you. That's why I wanted to ask that. It's important to point that out. It's not like you were born yesterday. You guys have been around for a while. Core competency, very solid, large-scale systems and software, almost like AWS. Okay, got that. We're also a customer of ClickHouse, by the way. We use ClickHouse database and some of our back end. You guys started ClickHouse, right?
Yeah,
but
it was
spun off.
Yeah.
Again, this is kind of notable,
yeah.
but it shows the tech chops.
Yeah.
But you still own a percentage of that.
Yeah, Nebius as a company has 27, if I'm not mistaken, percent of the ClickHouse. So we are a big shareholder, and we're super excited actually to see how this is one of the hottest startups in the world probably today. For sure,
that's your baby right there.
Yeah, for sure, the hottest in the database.
Yeah,
database.
Doing good. We've been following them. We like them a lot. And again, that's an example. I'm pointing this out because one, you guys, that's income stream there because you guys probably get a little bit of taking off the table on the next round. I mean, I think $6 billion valuation.
Yeah,
so that's that knowledge too.
Now, yes.
But the reason why I brought up ClickHouse is that the database is the hottest area in AI because data fuels everything. So I have to ask you, as looking at this next generation, as the large scale systems get locked in, it's going to be enabling this next wave. Data flows, workflows, computing, XPUs, how you configure memory and all the I/O. It's a networking problem too.
Of course.
So data has to go from point A to point B and then acted upon. So you got all kinds of systems thinking. Data will be critical. Data flows. So what's your take on what's next as you guys continue to serve these workloads, get some money in for the Microsoft deal? The enterprises, they're kind of like waiting to explode in value because they're just setting the table right now.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, I think that's great take that we actually see it as a few waves of growth and types of the customers. So if you look back, we started from mostly serving foundational model builders, right? So now the next wave are vertical AI companies. You can think about any Cursor, Mercor, everyone who actually start building from the product down, and eventually they come to the large infrastructure needs as they scale. And then the third wave is obviously enterprises, and it starts mostly with ISVs now. We already work, for example, with Shopify on scale, and the companies tech-savvy, tech-advanced companies like them. And we'll see the classical enterprises coming on the table as well. And you're absolutely right that those type of the customers, they don't look just for bare metal infrastructure. And they need platforms. They need developer platform. They need data platform.
Security.
All the security, all the classical cloud stuff, right? And we are working on that. So we believe that
they have an on-prem need, so they're going to need
to orchestrate it in a hybrid way and so on. So we actually work on it building the full stack up. So now we think that we figure out how the infrastructure as a service should look like, but how the platform as a service, how developer platform should look like, and especially when the software developer kind of paradigm is changing to agentic development, right? It's
going faster.
It's still to be figured out, but there are some
What are the hot areas, Roman? Obviously, I'm seeing financial services they're always putting money out there. So they're tier one. Life sciences is booming because they can do things they couldn't do before.
Yeah.
So you start to see healthcare.
Yeah, we see the healthcare. We just completed our compliance roadmap, and we see a lot of interest from this kind of more pharma, yeah,
drug discovery.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about automotive?
Automotive, I think
you guys see an action there.
We don't see too much yet, but we are now double downing on, in general, physical AI kind of industry. there are a lot of like simulation workloads and all this synthetic data. So it's interesting. So, but what I wanted to say that I think the challenge there for everyone is actually to build the next layer of the offering. Inference platform, fine-tuning as a service, reinforcement learning as a service, and build a flywheel, to your point, on the data. Because at the end of the day, the difference of those customers is not only they have the security issues or requirements and so on, but they have their unique data, and they want to get sense of that. And so when we think about what we need to build, we need to give them the tools to apply their data to extract the value from like the models. And this is all like...
low latency is huge. Yeah. Performance is bounded
in different cases.
Okay, give me an example where it's not relevant.
If you think any, like, for example, if you think about any like reasoning model, the latency is not the first requirement. So you optimize like the smartness of the model rather than the latency. But on the other front, for example, if you build, I don't know, voice agent, of course you have a lot.
So it's really use case specific.
It's very use case.
I'd much rather spend a few seconds setting up my reasoning engine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it's even sub-millisecond.
It even works like in the background and
or a minute. Who cares?
Yeah.
I want the output.
Yeah.
So that's still been user experience, and that's going to come from the app side. That's your inference angle.
Yeah.
Okay. So about the models, do you abstract the app layer from the model layer? Let the models fight for themselves. I mean, Anthropic just announced Claude. Whatever, it's the fastest. Tomorrow it'll be Gemini. The leapfrog. It's a leapfrog game.
Yeah, I think how we see our kind of play and mission is actually to help people build on open source models first of all. So like I think that at the end of the day, if people decide to build on Gemini, they will build it in Google ecosystem, right? But what if you want to build on open source? What if you want to build on, what if you have the need to go down the latency, go down the price, apply the data in more extensive way and extract more value, have more control? If you have like sovereign type of thing or just a corporate that doesn't want to give all the control to the provider. So here is our play. And we think that what we build is we want to lower the barrier for people build like smart systems from the open source models. And it's not only about like the smartness of the model itself, but how you cover it with the tooling, how you evolve the things, how you apply the data, how you fine tune the models, how you combine the models together, how you integrate with enterprise stuff that you have, legacy systems, like do, I don't know, internal search, external search. There is the universe of the things that people really need as a platform to build whatever deep research for the company based on open source model. And it's quite fascinating how this platforms will look like at the end game.
All right, so final question for you. First of all, I really appreciate the conversation. I've been following you guys for a while. We've been tracking the greatness of you guys, and again, love the success you've had. Again, love the expertise. What's the current strategy now for business? Is it continue to more of the same inference platform? Are you buying more NVIDIA GPUs? Are you in line? Give us some data. Come on, share some information.
Yeah, like
what do you got going on?
There is two dimensions. One is just you need to scale, and like the current market is if you secure the power, you will be good. So we have focused a lot on building the scale.
It's bounded by power.
It's just like building the scale. Demand is there. We're building the scale. And then the second challenge is like how we build the platform upstack. We don't want to be the large utility company. We want to be the platform. We want to be the cloud. So, and this is the question: what is the developer experience? What is the next thing we need to deliver? And there are obvious things that we discussed, like inference platform. You need to run inference on scale, very performant, very reliable, very secure. There are fine tuning. Like people don't build models from the scratch in the most cases. They want to apply the data and start from some
Lego blocks. I love those.
So like we build the Lego blocks for developers who build on AI. That's the second dimension.
It's a proven model. Roman, thanks for coming in. Congratulations to you and your other co-founders. Storied history.
Thank you.
It's fascinating. what's this new company doing? You're not new. You guys have the expertise. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Again, the system revolution is happening. theCUBE is doing its part to bring that to you. I'm John Furrier, your host. Thanks for watching.